What's going on, guys? So I previously did a couple videos on cross-site scripting where I explained exactly what could happen, but I didn't fully demonstrate. So I was doing a hack the box, came across this box here that's actually going to show us what cross-site scripting can do and the potential impact from it, right? So we came across this little website here that they are currently in the process of creating. So it just says, "Welcome to our website. We're working hard to bring you an amazing online experience." Doesn't really say what it is, whatever, completely fine. But it does say that uh, the site will be live in 24 days, 23 hours, so on and so forth, right? But they also have a button here that says, "Click for questions." And as you can see here, they have a contact support thing that you can fill out here. So I'm just going to fill out a couple things here. As you can see, I've previously done certain things like this. Email, we'll do test@test.com. Phone number 12345678994. And then for the message box, we're going to test for that cross-site scripting, right? So we'll put in script and we will do alert and one. And then we will end script. And so if this does work correctly, we'll see something pop up on the page here with a number one. It'll be like a little alert that'll pop up and it'll have number one, right? So go ahead and click submit. As you can see, they are using a web application firewall. So it detected that we're trying to do something malicious here. So really good on the web application firewall for making sure that we're not able to do that. But there is a couple things to note here. Uh, One of the main things right here is the cookie. So cookie is admin equals. So it does use cookies and it does have some kind of admin potential to uh, if we have the admin cookie, we're able to input that in there, and then we can take over a session as an admin, right? So what we're gonna do is actually open up Burp Suite. Let me go ahead and connect the Boxy proxy to Burp. Go ahead and turn on intercept, and then we're gonna try that again. Let me go ahead and let me turn that off real quick so we can go back to the main page. There we go. Okay, turn that back on. All right, so we'll leave the same payload and everything there, and we'll go ahead and hit submit, and then we'll see what's going on here. So we have the first name test, last name test, email, and it is URL encoded, phone number, and then the message, which is also URL encoded, but we do have that script alert one. Um, let's see here. So we'll go ahead and test out the user agent. Where is the user agent? So we can actually cross-site script sometimes from different different categories here within the request itself. So if you're doing like uh, log poisoning or something to that extent, sometimes you would use certain things within the user agent here. So we're going to test out cross-site scripting with that, right? So we're going to add in the same payload that we just used, alert one, and then in scripts. And then we will go ahead and forward that. There we go. So cross-site scripting is a thing here. It is a vulnerability here. So we popped up with that notification, and then we have the one. Of course, we go, back. And it's gonna go to this because it's still picking up the previous payload that we had. Completely fine. But we'll go back, turn off intercept. All right. Actually, I can just take that out. All right. So what I'm going to show you is how we talked about stored cross-site scripting, which is that vulnerability where the malicious scripts are injected into a web application and then stored on the server. This is different than the reflective cross-site scripting, which requires a victim to essentially interact with a crafted link that contains a payload that you send to them. They click on it. Stored cross-site scripting payloads are going to be stored on the server side and executed whenever a user accesses that vulnerable page. So very, very dangerous stuff. Something to be aware of, especially as a website owner. All right, and so we'll dive into this and I'll show exactly how an attacker can use that and leverage that to gain access to your server, right? So what we're gonna do is add in a specialized payload. So we'll need to send that request again. We'll need to capture that request before we send it. Oh, all right. So we'll try this again. And I'm going to use it in the refer position. Still going to be a bypass here. So we will paste, add in our IP address, which is 10.10.16.6 port 8001. I have a Python server running on port 8001. We'll go ahead and forward. Forward. As you can see here, we have a request. It says get cookie. So we'll grab that cookie. We'll need to base 64 decode. Actually, let's grab this one right here. Base 64 decode that. So we will need to, let me open up another thing here, another terminal, and we will need to echo. I can't spell echo today, echo. And then we'll paste in that, and then we will pipe that into base 64-D for decode. And now we have our cookie. So it is admin in our cookie. So we'll copy that. And then what we're going to need to do is open up, we have our Firefox here. We need to, so I went ahead and did a directory fuzzing. So I found there is a directory in here called dashboard that we don't have access to. So let me see, where is, I want to see something real quick here. Okay. So we could just enter in our cookie here that we have, but I want to show you real quick that we don't have access to the dashboard. So it is unauthorized access. So it means that we're not signed in, but since we have that cookie, we have that session, we can go ahead and try that again. Oops. Input our cookie here, forward, and now we have access to an administrator dashboard. So that's dangerous, right? This is your website, and you don't want anybody, in there. Just from a cross-site scripting vulnerability, I now have admin access to this website. Scary stuff. Definitely want to, be aware of that. From here, we can do some more enumeration, try and see, exactly what's going on. Whoops, I need to re-input that cookie. Generate report. You can also add in the cookie through the Firefox as well. The systems are up and running. And then from here, let's see, generate report. From here, like I said, I've already done all of this, so I'm just kind of pulling from my notes. But I wanted to demonstrate exactly how this could be, scary for somebody that owns a website that might have that vulnerability available. So there is a little exploit here with this date. So if we were to close that off and add ID, forward that request, it's going to show you that we just ran a command So from here, what we do is we will generate another report. We'll add in that cookie. We'll grab our little payload here. And then we will do NC and then our IP address, which is 10.10.16.6. And then we will run port 4444 and then execute in bash. And we'll go ahead and set up a server, a listener here. So netcat nblp 4444. That's running. We have our cookie input there. So from here, forward that request, and we have a reverse shell. So that's how quickly somebody could essentially get into your website if there's a uh, cross-site scripting vulnerability there. Uh, Again, very, very dangerous. Definitely want to protect yourself against that. Get a web application firewall. Otherwise, they might own your server. So yeah, that's it. Just wanted to kind of demonstrate that to you guys.